All right.
Thank you, officer. Thank you, everyone. Please have a seat. Good afternoon. This is the 2 o'clock calendar for the 23rd day of the month. On the first day of the month, orders read onto the record that affect all of you regarding DNA and fingerprinting. In just a moment, I'm going to call you up to the podium. When you get to the podium, I need your name. I'll tell you the charges you're here on. I'll appoint most of you an attorney. I'll set your next hearing date, give you a location. I'll set your general release conditions. All of you will have general release conditions. They are as follows. Do not make contact with the arresting officers. Do not possess any drugs without a valid prescription. Do not drive a motor vehicle without a valid license. Keep us apprised as to where you're living. If you're on probation, you'll be ordered to contact your probation officer. If the charges you are here on allege that there is a victim, you'll be ordered to stay away from the victim and not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. All of this will be handed to you in writing at the end of your hearing. When you get back to your seat or your cells, take a moment and read it. Thank you very much, folks. Good. No problem. No problem. I'll take care of it. Mr. Hernandez, come on up, Mr. Hernandez. After Hernandez is Gutierrez. Christopher, why don't you sit right close to the door? Tell me your full name, Mr. Hernandez.
Josue Hernandez.
Mr. Hernandez, this is ag assault versus a teacher / school employee, which is a class 5 felony. I've appointed you an attorney, sir. 2 hearing dates coming up, March the 28th and April the 1st, both them downtown Phoenix. Bond is $2,500, secured appearance. Good luck, sir.
Yeah.
Good luck. She has your paperwork. Christopher Gutierrez, come on up. Patrick Callahan. Thank you. That's not Gutierrez. That's Patrick?
Yes, sir.
Patrick, tell me your full name.
Patrick James Callahan.
Date of birth, please.
3/30/89.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, this is a child support arrest warrant. This is not a criminal arrest warrant. What happened is a child support judge issued a warrant for your arrest with a bond amount. I'm not allowed to change that bond amount. It's $171. What's going to happen is I'll set another hearing for you in front of a child support judge. It'll be on the 28th day of this month. That judge can change the 171 if he or she thinks it's necessary. About 30 days after that, you'll be back in front of your assigned judge. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Did we find Mr. Gutierrez? Christopher?
Gutierrez.
Christopher?
Gutierrez. Christopher.
Now let me jump to Giovanni Rivera Montes. We'll find Christopher. We got time. Come on, sir. And then Douglas Sherman's after this gentleman. Tell me your full name, sir.
Giovanni Maximiliano Rivera Montes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sir, this is a criminal damage case, a class 5 felony, a simple assault as a misdemeanor. I've appointed you an attorney, sir. You have 2 hearings coming up, the 7th of April, the 10th of April, both them downtown Phoenix. You're being released to pretrial services. You'll be out of here in about 6 hours. That lovely lady with the uniform on is going to hand you a whole bunch of paperwork. Make sure you read it carefully. Those are the rules you have to follow for pretrial services to stay out of trouble.
Yes,
Good
sir.
luck, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Sherman, Douglas, come on up. And Dimitri Williams is after Mr. Sherman. Good afternoon, Mr. Sherman. Tell me your full name.
Douglas Ira Sherman.
Mr. Sherman, this is dangerous drugs, a class 4 felony. I've appointed you an attorney, sir. You have 2 hearings coming up, the 7th and the 10th of April, both in downtown Phoenix. You're being released to pretrial services. You'll be out of here in about 6 hours. That wonderful lady in the uniform is going to hand you a whole bunch of paperwork. Read it carefully. Those are the rules you have to follow to stay out of trouble. Good luck, sir. Thank you. Dimitri Williams, and then Jonathan Medina Luque is after Mr. Williams. Tell me your full name, sir.
Dimitri Alexander Williams.
Mr. Williams, this is discharge of a firearm within city limits. That's a Class 6 felony. I've appointed you an attorney, sir. Your next hearing date is the 7th day of April, then again on the 10th day of April. Both them downtown Phoenix. You're being released to pretrial services. You'll be out of here in about 6 hours.
I have a
That
question.
lovely lady's going to hand you a whole bunch of paperwork. Read it carefully. Those are the rules you have to follow.
Can I ask a question?
I may not have an answer, but go right ahead.
The date of the court cannot be changed?
It can be changed by a motion. Contact your attorney. They may reach out to you ahead of time or want to meet you there. I don't know. That's between you and your attorney. They can file a written motion if you have a good reason. Yes, the judge can do that. Next judge can do it. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Jonathan. And then Christina is after Jonathan.
Hi, Your Honor.
How are you, sir, under the circumstances?
That could be better.
Well, it's going to get better in just a second. Tell me your full name, sir.
Jonathan Abdiel Medina Luque.
Thank you, sir. Sir, this is driving on a suspended, revoked, or canceled license, a Class 1 misdemeanor, also dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony. I've appointed you an attorney. You have 2 hearing dates coming up, the 7th and the 10th, both of them downtown Phoenix. I'm releasing you on pretrial services. Right there, I'm releasing you on your own recognizance. You'll be out of here in about 6 hours. We do have a diversion program. You might want to think about that. Good luck, sir.
Hey, you have a what? I'm sorry?
Diversion program.
Diversion program?
Yeah, you stop using drugs. We help you stop using drugs. You stay clean and sober. The case goes away.
I would like that.
Talk to your attorney about that.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Good luck, sir. Good luck. Christina Cota. Miss Cota. And Edgar is after Christina. Good afternoon, Miss. Tell me your full name, Miss.
Christina Cota.
Miss Cota, this is driving on a, strike that, this is aggravated driving under the influence. 2 counts, 1 with a person under the age of 15 in the vehicle. And I think that's a misprint. That should be a Class 6 felony, not a Class 4 felony. And the other one is driving under the influence, aggravated as a Class 4 felony, also a misdemeanor, driving under the influence. I've appointed you an attorney. You have 2 hearings coming up, the 7th and the 10th, both of them downtown Phoenix. You're being released on your own recognizance. You'll be out of here in 6 hours. Driving under the influence, that charge comes with a civil liability through motor vehicles to not drive your vehicle. Make sure if you're going to drive, you have valid license or you're going to get yourself in more trouble.
Okay.
Good luck, miss.
Thank you.
It's called admin per se. You should have a copy of all that.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck. Edgar. Adrian is after Edgar. Tell me your full name, sir.
Edgar Esparza.
Mr. Esparza, this is unlawful flight as a Class 5 felony. I've appointed you an attorney, sir. You have 2 hearings coming up, the 7th and the 10th, both of them downtown Phoenix. You're being released to pretrial services. You'll be out of here, strike that. You're being released on your own recognizance. You'll be out of here in about 6 hours. Good luck.
Thank you.
Just
And
show-
what was the
show-
date? What was the day of the next one?
It's all in writing on that paperwork she's going to give you. Adrian. And then after Adrian, and we'll try Christopher Gutierrez again. Good evening. Good afternoon, Adrian. Tell me your full name, please, sir.
Adrian Jose Dueñas.
Sir, this is possession of a weapon by a prohibited person. I don't think there's probable cause for this because there's information that the county attorney has given me that says you may have solved all your problems in another county and it may have been reduced to a misdemeanor. May have. We don't have that paperwork here today, so I have to appoint you an attorney and tell you to come to court one more time, and I'm real sorry. Come on the 7th and tell your attorney that this was generated out of another county You finished whatever you needed to do. It's called a Class 6 open or undesignated.
Yeah.
And after you finished it, it would be reduced to a misdemeanor. If you've got that paperwork, bring it with you.
I have it.
Bring it with you, because then that attorney can show it to the judge, and you're done.
Okay.
The sad thing is, you're here in front of me. The sad thing is, you gotta go back on the 7th and do it again. So, I'm sorry, but there's no other way to do it. Good
Understand?
luck. We don't have that paperwork. So,
Yeah.
good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Gutierrez, Christopher. Okay, we'll take a walk with Mr. Well, listen. Thank you.
There you go.
And Mr. West, Walter West? And then I'll do the probation violation real quickly. We're doing fine on time. Mr. West, tell me your full name.
Walter Larry West Jr.
Mr. West, you're what we call a fugitive of justice. Did one of these officers hand you a big laminated piece of paper?
Yes.
Did you have a chance to read that?
Yes.
What that simply means is another state, in your case, it was Mississippi, issued a national warrant for your arrest. We found you. That doesn't mean there's any charges here, it just means extradition starts here. Extradition can be done in two ways. One, you can waive your extradition rights, which means you won't get any bond, but then Mississippi has to come and get you within 30 days. If they don't, we kick you loose. That doesn't solve the problem in Mississippi, it just solves the problem here until you run into police again, whether it's here or in another state. The other way is for me to enter a denial that forces the two governors, one in Arizona, one in Mississippi, to talk, fill out paperwork. You would be entitled to be bonded. In Arizona, this type of charge is a non-bondable charge. Mississippi, apparently, it is a bondable charge, and they want $10,000 cash. What do you want to do? You want 90 days and have a hearing here, another hearing here, or do you want to get back to Mississippi? What do you want to do? If you're not sure, let me enter a denial now. And,
No. So I'm gonna waive.
Okay. I have to ask you a series of questions then. Sir, you did read that waiver paper, that extradition paperwork?
Yes.
Correct? You understand that you do not have to sign the waiver, and you have a right to have a hearing here in Arizona in about 10 days. And that's where we put up bond.
Yes.
Okay. You have a right to hire your own attorney at your own expense, because these are civil, not criminal, so I can't appoint you one. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Also, you have a right to demand those governors in both states to sign all the extradition paperwork. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Also, you have a right to bail. In your case, I will honor Mississippi's and put bail down at $10,000 should you choose extradition.
Yes.
You understand that if you sign the waiver, you're giving up those rights, and we hold you non-bondable. We notify Mississippi immediately. They'll most likely respond tomorrow, because today's Sunday, and then they make arrangements to come get you. If they don't come get you within 30 days, you're out of here, but that doesn't solve the problem in Mississippi. And Mississippi, in my experience, after sitting up here 25 years, has always been real good about coming and getting their people.
So I've been here like a year and a half ago. So they didn't let me go. They just passed a law saying if you don't catch another felony or any charges like that, that they will not come and get you. So I will be here for 30 days and I will be let go. I've been through this like a year and a half ago in the same
Well,
court.
we got another way to do it. It's a little faster. I can at least issue the $10,000 bond. Whether you can make it or not doesn't really matter, but you'll get a hearing in front of another judge in Maricopa County. They may have that same information in the 10 days. Would you like to do that instead?
No.
Okay, all right, okay. Has anyone used any force, threats, or made any promises to get you to enter into this agreement?
No.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication in the last 24 hours?
No.
I'll make a finding you're making a knowing, intelligent, voluntary waiver. That lovely lady, can you approach this lovely lady?
Yes.
She's gonna have some paperwork for you, sign off on that, you're here for 30 days, and maybe you're right, and maybe they'll just kick you loose for 30 days.
All right. Yeah, I was just here about like a year and so.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. See.
One second, sorry, we're not ready for you yet.
That's my fault. I was chatting with the gentleman. Yeah, it should be good now.
Okay, thank you. One moment. Oh, what, sorry, one progress. I'll let you know. Now you can.
Tatum, why don't you come on up here, Tatum? When you get up there, tell me your full name.
Tatum Swanager 4.
Thank you, Miss. Miss, this is a probation violation matter. I've appointed you an attorney, Miss. You're going to have a probation revocation hearing on the 31st of this month, downtown Phoenix. I'm releasing you on your own recognizance, Miss. Do not make contact with the arresting officers. Do not possess any drugs without a valid prescription. Do not drive a motor vehicle without a valid license. Contact your probation officer as soon as you step outside this building in about 6 hours, about 8 o'clock tonight. Follow their rules, follow my rules. You're given the next judge you meet on the 31st. 2 very good reasons to not put you in prison on the 31st, okay? Miss, since that officer's busy with that gentleman, why don't you just go sit back down?
Yes, sir.
You'll be out of here in about 6 hours.
Thank you, sir. Have a great
Good
day.
luck. You too. Oh, well, looks good to me. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And we'll do Christopher Gutierrez as a house call real quick. Mr. Gutierrez is ag assault on a healthcare professional. Apparently he became a disciplinary issue. That's a Class 6 felony. I've appointed him an attorney. His next hearing is on the 28th of this month. Downtown Phoenix. Bond is $1,000.
All they do is sign twice, and then we give them their paperwork. We have to verify with the commissioner that they signed it.
Do we have our interpreter yet?
She's still not on,
No, she's tied up in the
I think.
juvenile hearing. How's your Spanish, officer?
Not that good.
Okay.
I don't need any service.
What is your name, sir?
Matthew Martinez.
Matthew, come on up here, Matthew. Matthew, I think you speak better English than me, and also probably a lot better Spanish than I do. Matthew, tell me your full name.
Matthew Paul Martinez.
Hold on, Matthew. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, Matthew. Matthew, this is a criminal trespassing as a Class 6 felony, disorderly conduct, fighting, 4 counts. So those are all misdemeanors. I've appointed you an attorney, sir. Your next hearing is the 28th of this month, downtown Phoenix. Bond is set at $5,000. Good luck, sir.
What's 10% of that?
500.
500?
Just get on the phone to a.
If I have 487 on me, can you lower it down a little bit just to make it?
Well,
I got 487 on me.
First off, I doubt if you have it in that orange jumpsuit.
I have it in my property.
Problem is, I can't give you access to your property. What you have to do is give a third party, family, friend, access to your party, to your property in written form. And just tell them to bring $3 extra. Okay?
Cool.
Good luck, sir.
All right.
So now we've done Matthew Martinez.
All right. Yeah, I am Barton.
No, that's okay. Officer, if she gets everybody out of there, I can go back and do that house call before we do the Spanish, or is that dangerous? Because we still have people in there. What do you want to do?
Let's just take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You try to get it done.
No problem.
Yeah.
We're ready, we just don't have an interpreter.
Yeah.
And
So-
my Spanish is poor.
Okay.
And again, officer, thank you. They all behaved wonderfully.
No problem.
And you're done with me now. You get the pretty Miss Hunt instead.
Okay.
She's a little sweetheart, but she's doing the juvenile calendar right now. In fact, I'm gonna go back there and see how she's coming with juvenile. Is that okay? Okay?
Do your thing.
Leave everything running.
No, we just waited for the temper. Did he already find it? Yeah, he made already ready. Oh, in your house? Yeah. You ain't going to work with it.
She's off the bench now, so we should have an interpreter.
She should be coming on then.
Do you have her email?
Yeah.
If she doesn't, log on in just a couple seconds, just shoot her a quick email.
Oh, there she is.
Never mind, solved that problem. Miss Interpreter, are you with the court?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Thank you. Miss Interpreter, can you interpret the following?
Yes, of course.
Spanish speakers, would you please listen to the translation before you respond in case you are bilingual?
Para las personas que hablan español, por favor escuchen a la traducción antes de responder si es que son bilingües.
Mr. Arroyo, will you please come up to the podium?
Señor Arroyo, por favor, pase al podio.
Please tell me your name, sir.
Señor, por
Ramiro
favor, dígame su
Baena
nombre.
Arroyo. Ramiro Baena Arroyo.
Ramiro Baena Arroyo.
You're charged with burglary in the third degree, which is a felony.
¿Cómo
Se le
dice?
imputa de allanamiento de morada con fines delictivos en tercer grado, es un delito.
You're charged with criminal damage as a felony.
Se le imputa de daños a propiedad ajena en lo penal.
You're charged with criminal trespassing as a misdemeanor.
Y se le imputa de intrusión ilícita como una falta.
I have appointed you an attorney, sir.
Señor, le he nombrado un abogado.
Your next hearing is April the 7th, downtown Phoenix.
Su siguiente
Necesito un
audiencia
abogado.
va a ser el 7 de abril en el centro de Phoenix. I need an attorney.
I have appointed you an attorney, sir.
Señor, le he nombrado un abogado.
You're being released on your own recognizance. Show up on the 7th, meet your attorney. Good luck, sir.
Señor, va a ser puesto en libertad bajo palabra de honor. Preséntese el día 7. Buena suerte, señor.
Gracias.
De nada.
Thank you.
Would you invite Eric Perez to the podium?
Eric Pérez, pase al podio.
Please tell me your name, sir.
Eric,
Por favor, dígame su
Eric
nombre,
Pérez.
señor. Eric Pérez.
Sir, you're charged with dangerous drugs, which is a class 4 felony.
Señor, se le imputa de tenencia de drogas peligrosas, un delito de clase 4.
Drug paraphernalia as a felony.
Aminículos para las drogas como un delito.
Driving under the influence as a misdemeanor.
Manejar bajo los efectos como una falta.
I have appointed you an attorney, sir.
Señor, le he nombrado un abogado.
Your next hearing date is the 7th day of April, downtown Phoenix.
Su siguiente audiencia se va a celebrar el día 7 de abril en el centro de Phoenix.
I am releasing you on your own recognizance. You'll be out of here in 6 hours.
Lo estoy poniendo en libertad bajo palabra de honor y usted va a salir de aquí como en 6 horas.
Good luck, sir. Show up on the 7th and take care of this.
Buena suerte, señor. Preséntese el día 7 y encárguese de esto.
Muchas gracias, sir.
Thank you very much.
The court wants to thank the interpreter yet again for all your help.
Of course, Your Honor. You're very welcome. And I'm sorry for the
Okay.
delay.
Oh, no, miss, you were doing us a favor. You were in 3 different courts. You're impressive.
Yeah, of course. You're very welcome. I appreciate the comment. And yes, I was juggling around in different places. So yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much, miss.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
We're off the record.
Okay. All right, thank you for putting us on the record. And let me just quickly take care of this. And, okay. All right, so first off, this is the 5 p.m. initial appearance calendar for March 23rd, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. Eddie Coro, please come to the podium, and Kevin McClure, please go to the chair. That's outside the doors. Okay, I just need to put it to a bench view, get your release order. Hello, could you please state your full name? And I'm sure it's Edie?
Edie, yeah.
Okay, and could you please state your name?
Edie Cota,
And your date of birth?
12/28/1994.
All right, now you are being charged with, okay, you want, this did not, I had to know PC on a couple of these things, so let me, oh no, this was different. Okay, so yes, you are being charged with 2 counts of possession or drugs, possession of dangerous drugs for sale as a Class 2 felony, 1 count of transporting or selling narcotic drugs as Class 2, to sell for, as a Class 2. Sorry, my mouth is just not working right now. Let me start all over. I'm going to start with the 2 counts of possessing dangerous drugs for sale as a Class 2 felony, and 1 count of transporting and or selling narcotic drugs for sale as a Class 2 felony. 1 count of taking contraband into a correctional facility as a Class 2 felony. 1 count of conveying contraband to a prisoner as a Class 2 felony, and 1 count of conspiracy as a Class 2 felony. I did find that there's probable cause for these charges. I am going to be appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on March 28th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on April the 1st at 8:30 a.m. You have a cash appearance bond in the amount set in $50,000. If you do make that amount, you will have pretrial services with electronic monitoring to be installed before you are released from the jail, and that you would have curfew set by pretrial services. Okay? And the rest of your release conditions will be on your paperwork. Okay? Just make sure that you show up for court.
Okay.
All right? Then you can just go to your left and get your paperwork. Kevin McClure, please go to the podium. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Fine. Could you please state your full name?
Kevon O'Neill McClure,
All right. And your date of birth?
06/09/2002.
All right. Now, you have a warrant for violating your probation. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a probation revocation hearing set on March 31st at 8:30 a.m., and you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $3,000. If you do get released, be sure to show up. Be sure to contact your probation officer within 72 hours.
Okay.
Okay? Just go to your left, you'll get your paperwork. Thomas Alea, please come to the podium. Michael Felitas, please go to the chair. Hello. Now, sir, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cases. Could you please state your, hold on, let me get.
Thomas J. Olea.
I'm sorry.
Thomas J. Olea.
All right.
I have no clue any of these charges are to be. I have no clue of them all.
Okay, well, we'll go through them.
Okay.
What's your date of birth?
10/7/79.
All right, and that, I'm going to go through each of them. They all have the same name and date of birth. All right. So we'll go back to the first one that's on the docket, which is number 3. And this is a warrant. You have an arrest warrant out of Superior Court. You are being charged with 1 count of possessing or using a narcotic drug as a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a Class 6 felony. I did find probable cause for these charges, or no, hold on, let's see. This was a warrant. Hold on, let me see. So this is a direct complaint, so there's already probable cause is already found on this. Let me see. So this is a direct complaint, so there's already probable cause is already found on this case, and so I did not need to find probable cause. Probable cause has already been found.
Can I go on probation, pay a
Okay,
penalty or something?
No, at this moment,
Okay.
that is, right now, we're just talking about the fact that you got charges and we're talking about release conditions.
Okay, cool.
That's all we're doing at today's stage.
Okay.
So I am going to be appointing, in this case, this is Superior Court case. I'm going to be appointing the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You have a status conference at Superior Court, which is in the address is on the paperwork, which is 175 West Madison Street. That is called the South Tower.
Yes.
And that is a status conference set on March 28th at 8:30 a.m.
Okay.
You'll also have a preliminary hearing in that same courthouse on April the 1st at 8:30 a.m.
Okay.
And you have a secured appearance bond in this case only for $50 because I just affirmed the bond in this case. However, you have other cases. The other 6 cases are all out of Buckeye City Court. All right? Now, in each of those, they all have a bond amount of $500. Okay? So they are all $500 bonds. And I'll go through each of those with you.
Okay.
Now, this next one on the docket is number 4, and it is you're being charged with 1 count of possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a misdemeanor, class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of criminal trespassing in the 3rd degree as a class 1 misdemeanor. If you remain in custody, you'll be appointed counsel at your next hearing. That arraignment is set on April the 2nd at 1 p.m. And again, I said you'd have a bond amount of $500. On the next case, number 5, you have a warrant out of Buckeye City Court. It is for 1 count of drug paraphernalia as a misdemeanor. If you were to remain in custody, you'll be appointed counsel at the next setting. You'll have a arraignment hearing on April the 2nd at 1 p.m. Again, a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. On your next case, it's number 6 on the docket. Again, a warrant out of Buckeye City Court, the same count, same type of charge, possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a misdemeanor. If you're to remain in custody, you'll be appointed counsel at the next setting. I cannot appoint counsel in another jurisdiction. You'll have arraignment on the same date and time, April the 2nd at 1 p.m., and a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. And that is actually for all of them. So your next court date, again, the next case, a warrant out of Buckeye City Court, same type of charge, possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a class 1 misdemeanor. You'd be appointed counsel at the next hearing, which is again April 2nd at 1 p.m. Again, a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. It is the same situation for the next case. Number 8 on the docket, a warrant out of Buckeye Municipal Court, 1 count of possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a misdemeanor. That you'd be appointed counsel at your next hearing, which is April the 2nd at 1 p.m., and you have a secure appearance bond in the amount of $500. And your last case, which is a warrant out of Buckeye Municipal Court for the same type of charge, possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a class 1 misdemeanor, that you would be appointed counsel at your next hearing. Again, all of these cases for the city of Buckeye is set on April the 2nd at 1 p.m., and again, a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
Okay, just go to your left, you'll get to that paperwork. So remember, almost all of them are city court, but you still have Superior Court for that 1 case.
Am I releasing them?
No, you are not released. You have $500 bonds in 2 for 6 cases, and you have a $50 bond for the Superior Court case. Michael Fidelis, and Craig Lillis, please go to the chair. Okay, sir, now you have 4 cases before me today. Let's go to your first case. You have a new case. You are being charged with let me make sure, okay. You're being charged with, okay, could you please state your full name?
Michael Felitis, 10387, Your Honor. Good evening.
And good evening. And you have the same name and date of birth on all of the cases. Now, on your first case, you're being charged with 1 count of possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a, we just have felony. That would be a class 6 felony. And then the narcotic drugs and dangerous drugs should be a class 4 felony. I believe. Oh, then okay, let me actually, this should probably be fixed. let me fix this real quick. Oh, I don't have my, I can actually figure out the info here. Is it okay to see that it's felony, or should we change that into it doesn't have the level of felony?
Do you want to give me what each one is and all out of them?
Okay, let's see. Well, drug by felony is class 6. Narcotic drug, I know dangerous drug is a class 4.
So the first one is 6?
Yeah, first one is a 6. If I could just quickly look that up.
Narcotic drug.
Here, I can. 133408. Didn't we just have one?
The 13, the drug paraphernalia, I changed it and I moved it to the bottom.
And we've lost. I wish I had my phone on with me in here. So easier to look those things up. Here, come here. And what's it? I'll just quickly pick it up. Okay, 30A1. Okay. The 133407A1 is a class 4 felony.
13-3407A1?
Yes.
Is it class what, I'm sorry?
4.
4.
And where was for the cell? A2. The A2 is a class 2.
A2 for the 13-3407 or
yes.
For the 08? For the 07?
A2. Right here. Yeah, it's a class 2. And then the drugs. And I do know for sure that the narcotic drug is also class 2. The 133408. But let me see that for the personal. We need to get to 13.
So 13-3408A2 is...
I'm looking that up right now. But that one I'm pretty positive. Okay. But let me... Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, possession, just regular possession is a class 4. And then as a cell is a class 2.
So the A1 is a class 4?
Here, let me, yes, it is a class 4.
A2 is a class 2.
Yes. Thank you so much for fixing that.
Of course, if you want to refresh it, you'll be able to see that.
Oh, terrific. Like right here for refresh?
Yeah. Go ahead and refresh and then click on the number 1 on the docket again.
Different.
On the case part.
Click on the case. Oh, the blue one. There. This way you can know what you're looking at, what charges you're facing.
Thank you, Anna.
Okay. So yes, you are being charged with 1 count of possessing or using dangerous drugs for sale as a class 2 felony, 1 count of possessing or using narcotic drugs for sale as a Class 2 felony, 1 count of possessing dangerous drugs as a Class 4 felony, 1 count of possessing narcotic drug as a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a Class 6 felony. I did find probable cause for those charges. I'm appointing the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You have a status conference set. I do not know why this says that you're being released on your own recognizance, though. So this needs to be edited because you're being held on the other charges. So maybe it was just okay, this needs to be edited. No. I am releasing you on this case on a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500. On the next case, you have a warrant for violating your probation. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a probation revocation hearing set on August, I'm sorry. Let me go back to the one that we were just on because I want to make sure that, because that actually probably changed your court dates. You have a status, because I did appoint counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on March 28th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on April 1st at 8:30 a.m. And I set a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500.
Okay.
Oh, did I not sign it? Yes, there. Okay, so there it is signed on because you're on warrant status and you now have a new charge, that is why they're saying that you violated your probation on your other cases. So on your other cases, you have a probation revocation hearing set on March 31st at 8:30 a.m. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500.
Okay.
And then again, on the next case, you have a warrant for violating your probation. I'm appointing counsel to represent you. You have a probation revocation hearing set, same date and time, March 31st at 8:30 a.m. The same amount of bond, $500. Again, do not possess any weapons and be sure to contact your probation officer if you're released. Your last case, warrant for violating your probation, appointing counsel to represent you. Probation revocation hearing set on the same date and time, March 31st at 8:30 a.m. And again, I just set the same amount of secured appearance bond for $500.
Okay, so what is the total per mine?
500, so that's 1,500 plus 2,500.
So 5,000?
Yes, total.
Okay.
All right. Just go to the left and you can show your paperwork.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Craig Lillis, please come to the podium. Stuart Neville, please go to the chair. Okay, hello. Could you please state your full name?
Craig Lillis.
All right, and Stephen is your middle name.
Yeah.
Okay, and your date of birth?
9/18/61.
All right, and you have a warrant out of West McDowell Justice Court for driving with a suspended license, suspended, revoked, or canceled license. If you remain in custody, you'll be appointed counsel at your next hearing. You have an arraignment set on March 26th at 8:30 a.m. And you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $630.
How much?
$630. $630.
Okay. So you're not going to release me?
No, I'm not.
So I pay $630 and I get out?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, if you go to your left, you'll get your paperwork.
Thanks.
Stuart Neville, please go to the podium. And Alyssa Perez, please go to the chair. Hello, could you please state your full name?
Stuart Knievel.
And middle name is Michael?
Yeah.
And your date of birth?
8/28/90.
All right, and you have a new case out of Santan Justice Court. You're being charged with 1 count of disobeying or resisting an order. It is a Class 1 misdemeanor. If you remain in custody, you will be appointed counsel at your next hearing. You have, I am releasing you on your own recognizance. So you have an arraignment set on April the 8th at 9 a.m. That is at the Santan Justice Court. So make sure that you show up for your court date. I will be releasing you on your own recognizance. That is on your promise to appear for court. However, I put it in like others. You must abide by all other court orders. So you have a order of protection, or actually you have release orders that says not to go there. You basically, this is saying that you violated your court order. So make sure that you follow your court orders. Okay? So just go to your left and you'll get your paperwork.
Thank you.
Alyssa Perez, please go to the podium. Hello, could you please state your full name?
Alicia Perez.
And your middle name?
Rebecca.
And your date of birth?
3/1906.
All right, and you have a new case out of Buckeye Municipal Court. You are being charged with 1 count of assault as a Class 1 misdemeanor, 1 count of disorderly conduct as a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of having liquor in your body as an underage person as a Class 2 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause for these charges. If you were to remain in custody, you would be appointed counsel as the next hearing, but I am going to be releasing you as on your own recognizance. So you will have an arraignment set on April the 8th at 2 p.m. Okay, and you, as I stated, I will be releasing you on recognizance. However, you are not to initiate contact with any alleged victim or victims. You are not to initiate contact with any alleged complainant or witnesses. Okay? So just, you're able to leave, make sure that you show up for court. Okay? And that is at the Buckeye Municipal Court.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Ray Alice, please come to the podium. Juan Cortez Rodriguez, please go to the chair. Hello, could you please state your full name?
Licencina.
All right, and your date of birth?
August 25, 2004.
And you have a new case at a Maryville Justice Court. You have 1 count of possessing a weapon by a prohibited person. Wait a minute. Let's see. Actually, this is a Superior Court case. So your destination actually is Superior Court, not Justice Court. And you are being charged with 1 count of possessing a weapon by a prohibited person as a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of carrying a deadly weapon by an underage person by being under 21 years of age as a Class 3 misdemeanor. I'm appointing the Maricopa County Public Defender's Office to represent you. You have a status conference set on April the 7th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on April 10th at 8:30 a.m. I am, however, going to be releasing you on your own recognizance. Okay, so I don't know why. Oh, it's because that is what the pretrial services was recommending. But let me just. Yeah, I think you. Yeah. Okay, just make sure that you stay in touch with your attorney. Make sure that you keep showing up for court. As long as you keep showing up for court and you stay in touch with your attorney, then, until they make a determination of what happens with your case, you're going to be able to keep coming back. You're going to be able to keep leaving. I generally, with these types of charges, I don't normally just release people on their own recognizance, but you have no criminal history and you don't have any failure to appear because you don't have any criminal history. So at this moment, and I didn't have any recommendations to saying otherwise. So at this moment, just keep showing up and all will be good. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right. Just good luck and get your paperwork. Juan Cortez Rodriguez. Okay, sir, could you please state your full name?
Juan Carlos Cortez Rodriguez.
And your date of birth?
March 1582.
All right. And you are now being charged with 1 count of aggravated DUI with having a suspended or revoked driver's license, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of DUI, just a misdemeanor DUI. Basically with impairment. However, from what red, I did not find probable cause. So because I did not find probable cause, I cannot hold you. So I essentially, but I can't also dismiss charges. This is not where I can dismiss charges. I can't do anything. So you still have a case. You still have a case in Superior Court. But I don't have probable cause. I saw nothing about driving. I just saw that you had an argument and you got in a car and that was it. So, so I have to release you. That's really it. I have to release you and tell you when your next court date is. So, that's all I've got. So just make sure that you show up for court. Okay? You're going to be going to Superior Court Phoenix, 175 West Madison Street. All right? That will be on your paperwork. You need to make sure you show up for court, because if you don't show up for court, they will issue a warrant.
I will.
All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Then the next person is Rashenda Strickland. Hello. Oh, okay, let me get this. Let me just take a wire. Okay. Hello, could you please state your full name?
Rashenda Strickland.
And your middle name?
Patrice.
And your date of birth?
2/9/1980.
All right, thank you. Now, before court, you were given a laminated card. Did you read that paperwork?
Yes, I did.
Okay. As stated, you have a warrant from the state of Oregon, so you have a choice to make at this time. You can choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing and be sent back to the requesting state within 30 days, or you can demand an extradition hearing and that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before you are sent back to the state of Oregon. If you choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing, you would be held non-bondable in Maricopa County Jail for a period of up to 30 days to allow time for the requesting state to come for you. That 30 days would start tomorrow, as long as you do not have any criminal charges pending against you anywhere in Arizona. If you do have criminal charges pending against you in Arizona, the 30-day period would not start until those charges are resolved. If you choose to have an extradition hearing, I will set your hearing for, do we have a date? Oh, it would be for March 31st, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. I cannot appoint an attorney to represent you because extradition matters are civil in nature, but you would have the right to hire a lawyer at your expense if you choose. You are entitled to, actually you're not entitled to bail because the arrest warrant was for probation. A governor's warrant signed by the governors of both states are required to extradite you to Oregon, and that process could take up to 90 days. Do you know if you would like to...
Up to 90 days for what?
For the process to take for both governors to sign the warrants.
Okay.
To sign the extradition warrant.
Okay.
But I did look at the...
That's the warrant, not the waiver.
No, that's for the extradition. Here, let me read it again, because I think I might have stated it a little differently.
I was getting...
So it's a governor's warrant. So it's, in order for them to actually, you can either waive your right, or they actually have to get a governor's warrant signed. So that means that both governors have to sign it.
Right.
And so it could take up to 90 days for that process to happen.
For that process.
Yes.
But if I go ahead and
just
sign
waive
the
your
waiver,
rights,
by signing the waiver, then they can
it
come
starts
get me.
within 30 days, which has to start tomorrow.
For them to come pick me up.
Right.
Okay, yes, that's what I want to do.
Okay.
I want to sign the waiver.
All right, then there's actually I have to go through some rights with you in order to make sure that that's what you want to do.
Okay.
So, and it's just that it's important, so that's why there's a book.
Okay.
All right, so I understand at this time you do want to sign. Here's, let me get into here. So let's edit this. I usually just default say no. So let me just, I'm going to change this. And we'll take that off. So you're to be held. Just. So then we would take off the hearing date because she's waiting her right. Yeah. I'm holding her non-bondable then. I don't see where that would be. Yeah, okay. So let me go then start with the thing. I understand that this time you do want to sign the waiver of extradition. I need to ask you some questions as I'm making a record of this proceeding. Did you read the waiver of extradition paperwork?
Yes.
Do you understand that you do not have to sign the paperwork?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to an extradition hearing?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to hire a lawyer at your own expense?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to demand that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before you are returned?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to bail unless non-bondable as described above? Or like what we talked about?
Yes, I do.
Do you want to give up those rights and sign the paperwork?
Yes, I would like to sign the waiver.
Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to sign the paperwork?
No.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication within the last 24 hours?
No.
I find that you knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily are signing the waiver, and I will also sign it. And then I am directing the Sheriff's Office to notify the requesting state that you are ready to return. The requesting state will have 30 days from tomorrow to pick you up unless there are local charges pending. If there are local charges pending, the 30 days will not start until the conclusion of that case. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. What if, once you send this over, once I sign it, they send it over to them, right?
Yes.
Let them know that I agree.
Right.
So
they'll have 30 days in which to pick you up.
What if they decide not to? Even
if they don't, then we have to release you after that 30 days is up.
What if they decide not to before then?
We hold you until that 30 days are up. On the 31st day, we have to release you.
Ooh. Okay. So even if they said we don't want to come get her, still, we changed our mind, I still have to be here for 30 days.
I think if they told us that they weren't going to, then we would let you out, but
okay.
I truly don't know if that would happen. I think that would change the complexion of it, but right now, if they specifically said we're not coming, that would maybe change what we would do. Okay. But at this moment, it's a future justice bond, because if they specifically said, look, we're not coming, I think that would make sense. Because we don't want to keep you either.
Right.
Okay? But at this moment, the way it is, if they just didn't tell us, we have to let you out in 31 days.
Okay.
So you need to make the selection. So
I thought I made the selection.
And then you need to sign. So
I thought I did. Okay, here, I hit sign. Release order was approved and signed. Oh, FOJ was not signed by the defendant. Okay, we have to still sign.
Yeah, she has to sign.
Right. Okay. Was not signed, so.
I need to come.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have to sign in person? I thought, some of them forget, so. I guess the first time it didn't look like I saw Commissioner McLaughlin signed in person. Okay, then we have number 12 in the House call.
Go ahead and sign.
Oh, let me take a look at.
You're gonna need to sign one more time. Go ahead and sign.
Whoa, okay. Yes.
True. Okay, great. Okay, thank you. Courtroom is clear, Your Honor.
Okay, thanks. I just want to do a warrant real quick, and then I'll take care of him, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hello, Detective. This is Commissioner Hunt with Initial Appearance Court. I'm reviewing your search warrant request regarding the riot games for Alex Bangesh, and I do find that there is probable cause. In fact, I was just looking at a paper one for him for something else. And so, just do you swear or affirm that the information contained in your affidavit and warrant is true and accurate to the best of your personal knowledge, information, and belief? Okay, I am granting it right now. You're welcome. Have a good night. Thanks. Okay. All right. Well, this okay. Okay, yes, if you could bring Mr. McLaughlin in to the podium. And there's nobody else around?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. In that case, we don't need to worry about this door. Okay. Sir, could you please state your full name?
Royce McLaughlin.
Okay, thank you. And that was middle name also?
Daniel.
Daniel. Okay, and your date of birth?
January 4th, 1951.
Okay, thank you. You are being charged with 3 counts of sexual conduct with a minor with serious physical injury as a Class 2 felony. 1 count of molestation of a child is a Class 2 felony. It states that you are... I wasn't sure if the financial information was accurate. Let me make sure if I got this correct. It says that, like, monthly as a Social Security benefits, you get $40,000. Is that accurate?
No.
No, okay. Because it doesn't make sense that for Social Security...
That was
That's like yearly?
annual. yearly.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes more sense. So I'm going to edit this and I will appoint counsel to represent you.
Thank you.
You'd prefer to have counsel, correct? I mean, I'm
Yes,
suggesting
please.
that you need counsel, especially on this type of a case. All right, so I will appoint counsel.
Your Honor, if,
Okay.
does it ever happen that in a case like this, the appointed counsel, how would I say it, isn't as good as hiring a lawyer?
Well, if you can hire counsel, if you want to, I would say you can always look into hiring counsel, and if you can, then do so. But if you can't, at least you have counsel.
I've
Okay?
only been here for 2 years. I really don't know any attorneys.
That's fine. You can always still, sometimes attorneys can give you like even a half hour for like sometimes they'll give you half an hour for free. Sometimes they will, give you just, half an hour for like $100. You can always just at least check into, just look around and see. You can just, it's like, you got to just take a look. I can't give you any more advice.
Sure.
I can't give advice.
If I take the court counsel, do I have the option to change?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. You definitely want to meet with your attorney first. And also you can always still, this is going to be a start. You'll have counsel appointed to represent you. You can always hire a counsel that could substitute in later.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, definitely. This does not mean that you can't hire your own counsel. Yeah, absolutely, you can always hire your own counsel. Okay?
Thank you.
If you can, absolutely do so. All right. At this moment, let's see. So what I did, we talked about that's getting you counsel. You have a status conference set on March 28th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on April the 1st at 8:30 a.m. I am setting a cash-only appearance bond in the amount of $500,000. If you do make that, you will have a pretrial services. Will be supervising you. You will have electronic monitoring with curfew to be determined by pretrial services, and it will be installed before you are released from the jail. You are not to return to the scene of the alleged crime, and you are not to have any contact with any of the alleged victim. Well, obviously, there's only one alleged victim at this time. You are not to have any contact with minors. So, yes, you cannot go back to the house. You would have to find alternate residence while this is pending.
I have that arranged already.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
The only caveat is that I would need to call my wife and have her move my truck away from the house. How far away do I need to be? Or can I go to the outside of my house, get in my truck and leave?
I would say down the block.
Down the block?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, so obviously you can't, this doesn't say you can't have contact with your wife. So
Correct.
She can move it to wherever you were planning on, like where your alternate residence is going to be. She can move your truck there.
Right. She could move my truck and then she'd get back in her car and come and get me from here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That could always work out.
So I would like to have the electronic monitoring then?
What we're going to do is, what we are going to do is, first of all, you have cash-only appearance bond. So first of all, to be able to bond out, you have to be bonded out in the amount of $500,000. And then when you before you can be released, you will also then be on an electronic monitoring so that they know that you are not going back into your house. Okay?
Yep.
And also you will have a curfew if the pretrial services officer wants you to have a curfew. Okay? So that will be determined by your pretrial services officer. So you're having both.
That's, the pretrial is now, isn't it?
No. Everything before trial is pretrial. Okay? So these are two different types of probation officers. So you have pretrial officers that are monitoring you before probation.
Okay.
I mean, before your pretrial. Okay. So so I can actually see you a little bit better. I'm going to bring this down. So I just can see. Okay. I'm short. And these are kind of tall. But I also have to be able to type. Okay. So what I'm talking about is that you're going to have a bond amount. But if you are able to make that bond amount, you also can't just, you can't just go straight to that alternate residence. You are going to get an ankle monitor on you before you can be released.
Okay.
And you are also going to be supervised by pretrial services, by probation officers that are, actually I guess they're pretrial service officers that will then monitor you, monitor the ankle monitoring to make sure that you are not going back to the house. Making sure that you're not having any contact with your daughter.
Yes.
Okay? And that has to be put on you before you can be released from the jail.
Right.
And then you also will have a curfew determined by your pretrial services officer.
Okay.
Okay?
So I won't know what that is.
You won't know
tonight?
that until you speak to your pretrial officer.
And that happens before I leave?
You actually can leave and then your pretrial services officer. So until then, just, basically do what's reasonable. Like, like if you're going to work, you go to work and you just come home. It's just,
right.
it's like whatever they say. So if they don't say anything, then you're just do it what the reasonable hours are.
Okay. And please remind me the date of my next trial?
Yes. And you're going to get paperwork. So you don't have to worry about trying to remember things. But your next court date will be March 28th at 8:30 a.m., which is 5 days from today.
5 days from today.
Yeah, today is August the 23, so yes, 8/28.
Okay.
March 28th.
Okay.
I do not know where the 8 came from, but it's March 28th, which is at the Superior Court, Phoenix, 175 West Madison Street, which is the South Tower, which is downtown Phoenix.
Doesn't mean anything to me.
Okay, well, put it in your put it in navigation.
If I get my phone back, I can put it in GPS.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
All right?
The $500,000 bond?
Yes.
Do you have any idea what that costs?
$500,000. It's cash only.
Oh, well, I'll be sitting in jail.
Okay, well then you'll get transported to court.
Yeah. I don't have $500,000.
Okay. All right, well, and then it could be modified later on. Okay? But at this moment, it's $500,000.
Okay.
All right. But if you just go to your left, you'll get your paperwork.
Thank you, Your
You're
Honor.
welcome.
Yep.
Let me take a look at this. Is this anything immediate? That's a return. Let me see if sometimes if I read this and I say they're like standing by the car. I'm sorry, what is this? What do they want me to do? About assault. So what do they want me to do? Victim in this case, assaults it. Oh, you know what, let me first put the other one on the record. This calendar. Okay, the last person is, okay, so what is the reason why Mr. Palafox can't come in?
He's combative, Your Honor.
Okay, well that makes it going to be a fun time. Okay, number 20 and number 21 on the docket is unable to come into the courtroom because he is combative. So Lorenzo Reyes Palafox, date of birth January the 13th, 1990. He is being charged with 1 count of resisting arrest, physical force, class 6 felony, 1 count of disorderly conduct as a misdemeanor. I am appointing the legal advocate to represent him. He has a status conference set on March 28th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on April the 1st at 8:30 a.m. I am holding him non-bondable because he was on felony release at the time of this offense, and he has an evidentiary hearing for that, on that on March 31st at 1:30 p.m. In regards to his other case that he was unreleased for, his name, again, is Lorenzo Reyes Palafax, date of birth January the 13th at 1990. He had a warrant for violating, for not showing up for status conference. He is, those charges are for one count of possessing or using a narcotic drug as a class 4 felony, and one count of theft as a class 1 misdemeanor. He has counsel status conference set. Good evening. This is the 8 p.m. initial appearance calendar for March 23rd, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. And we'll start with Michael Mallory at the podium and Vincent Nelson at the chair. Hello. Could you please state your full name?
Michael Mallory.
Thank you. Let me get to the release order. Now, you have 3 cases before me this morning, well, this evening. And could you please state your full name?
Michael Javon Mallory.
And your date of birth?
11/5/1981.
All right. Now, that is the same name on each of the cases. Let's go back to the new case. So you are being charged with 1 count of possessing a weapon by prohibited person as a class 4 felony, 1 count of possessing or using a weapon in a drug offense as a class 4 felony, 1 count of narcotic drug as a possessing or using a narcotic drug as a class 4 felony, and 1 count of carrying a deadly weapon and failing to admit it as a class 1 misdemeanor. I did find that there's probable cause for those charges. I did not find that you were indigent, so at this point I'm not appointing counsel to represent you. However, you can, let me just make sure on this one. Yeah, if you do, however, cannot find an attorney, you can ask to see if another attorney can review your financials and see if they will appoint your counsel, all right? You have a status conference set on March 28th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on April 1st at 8:30 a.m. You have a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $25,000. If you go to the left, you'll get your paperwork. Oh, hold on, I'm sorry. You have 2 other cases, so we're not done. You are also have a warrant for violating your probation that is set. You know what? I think the problem is that you have had a public defender in your other cases. And you know what? Even though the public defender, they found that I'm going to appoint the public defender's office, even though it looks as though pretrial services didn't think that you were indigent. So hold on, I'm going to change that. I'm going to edit this first case. So I am going to, since you have a public defender in your other cases, does it make sense not to put a public defender on your new case? So I am going to appoint counsel in that new case, and everything else is the same. Your status conference, March 28th at 8:30, a preliminary hearing set on April 1st at 8:30, and I stated a secured appearance bond in the amount of $25,000. On your probation violation cases, well, on the first one, we have a warrant, again, your name and date of birth is the same, a probation violation warrant. I am appointing counsel, I'm affirming counsel. You have a probation revocation hearing set on March 31st at 8:30 a.m., and I'm setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $750. On your other case, you have a warrant for violating probation. Again, as you had counsel, I'm reappointing the public defender's office. You have a probation revocation hearing set on March 31st at 8:30 a.m. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $750. Okay? If you go to the left, you'll get that paperwork. Oh, you don't think the change was made? Okay, I will go in and check that. Oh, you're right, didn't take it. There, I edited and saved it. Did it change it this time? Get it? Okay. Vincent Nelson, could you please go to the podium? And Michael Sakia, please go to the chair. And sir, could you please state your full name?
Yeah, Vincent Anthony Nelson.
And your date of birth?
August 12th, 1999.
All right. Now you are being charged with one count of aggravated assault as a serious physical injury. And you have a status conference set on March 28th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on April 1st at 8:30 a.m. Actually, you know what? That should state what type of felony it is. Let me just look it up real quick. Sometimes you just look it up on the phone. This is actually one that I'm not used to as well. There's a class 3. Oh, wait a minute, or a class 2. The class 3 felony. Okay, thank you. All right. So this is actually, how can I change this to show that it's a class 3 felony? Do I go into the IA details? Okay. This is a class 3. Where do I change that? Okay, that won't. The ARS code. Okay, so, oh. It ended up adding it, not just changing it. I guess if I, okay. Oh, it's edit right here. There. It just said an F, but you should know what type of felony, what classification of felony that you're looking at. So it's a class 3 felony that you're being charged with. 1 count of aggravated assault is a serious physical injury as a class 3 felony. I did find that there was probable cause for the charge. It appears that you're not indigent, and therefore at this moment I cannot appoint counsel to represent you. However, if you do find that you're having trouble finding an attorney, you want to have counsel appointed, ask the court to appoint your counsel, and they can see if that they find that you're eligible at that time, okay? At this moment, I don't find that you're eligible. Yes, I can sign it now. I am going to, you do have a status conference set on March 28th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on April 1st at 8:30 a.m. I'm going to set a secured appearance bond in your case in the amount of $5,000. I will tell you that the county attorney's office is asking for a much higher bond. They wanted, basically, I think about $50,000. You, however, will not initiate contact with the alleged victim. Also, you may not reside at the same location as him. And I believe at the moment you are residing together, correct? So you must find an alternate residence, and you must provide proof of that new address to the court at your next court date. However, you will be allowed to have 1 civil standby with law enforcement officer to permit to collect your belongings. Okay? All right. So you can go to your left and you'll be able to get your paperwork. All right. And now that I do know that there is a victim here, I do want to read this victim's rights advisement. If you are the victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, you are advised that you have rights under Arizona law that, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present at court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing you loss. If you have not already been provided with a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. Number 8 is further down, or do we want to take number 8 down?
If you want to do it.
I'm fine with, okay. And since we do have a victim, I plan on taking Christian Fernandez now. Do I just move him up, or do I just leave him where he's at and just?
I can move it up.
Okay, if you can move him up, great. All right, Christian Fernandez, and then Michael Sakia, please go to the chair. All right. Christian Fernandez, could you please state your name?
Christian Antonio Fernandez.
Your date of birth?
05/22/97.
And now you have a new charge that stems for the Buckeye Municipal Court. You are being charged with 1 count of assault with the intention recklessly injuring another person as a class 1 misdemeanor. You have 1 count of disorderly conduct, seriously disrupting another person, including fighting, as a class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of criminal damage as a class 1 misdemeanor. I did find that there was probable cause for these charges. I found that you were not indigent, and I cannot appoint counsel in that circumstance. However, if you felt that I was in error, you can always request the Buckeye City Judge to review, you could ask him for counsel and see if he finds that you are eligible to have a court-appointed attorney. And I do know that the victim is present, and I think I did, and just so that the victim's aware, I did review your victim statement. So did you wish to say anything regarding release conditions? I will let you know that I am inclined. I was actually planning on thinking about releasing him on recognizance, but since I found out that this is the second time that I am setting a bond amount in the amount of $500, I also was already going to make him have to find alternate residence so that you cannot live with her during the pendency of this case, that you would have to find a new residence and provide proof of that new address to the court at your next court date. But you would be allowed civil standby with a law enforcement officer to collect your belongings one time.
Okay.
Was there anything else that you wanted to say?
Your Honor, I'm requesting for him to be detained, please.
Okay, well, this is a city.
He's not gonna stop.
Okay. So you're talking about a bond amount of a higher amount, is what you're saying?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Could you see my face?
Okay, actually, I can't see what you're... Okay.
My life is worth more than $500, Your Honor.
Okay, first of all, you have to understand...
I'm sorry.
No, just so you understand, this is not penalty stage. This is just release conditions.
But I'm in fear for my life with him coming out.
Okay.
I understand you guys collected all of his firearms, but he still has 2 firearms in the possession of friends that he can have access to that you guys don't have.
Okay, and that was not something that was in the release statement that you stated, okay? And I will also make sure that I put in here that you are to have no weapons.
And he knows the passcode to my house.
Okay, I am putting an order for him not to go to the house.
That's not going to stop anything. They took my firearms too. If he decides to come tonight, he knows the password when I'm sleeping.
Okay, I am going to make this the bond of $2,500, which is the highest I consider for a city case. Yes.
So those 2 firearms that she is talking about, I have sold those. The friends that she's talking about, those were sold. Those are not my weapons no more. You can look them up if you want. Those are not my weapons no more. They're not in my possession. I don't even talk to those friends no more because since I've been with her, I don't even talk to my family. She says I'm going to come back. I was the one that didn't want to come back to see her when I was on an ankle monitor. She was the one that was trying to get me to go see her, but I was the one that was, however she said it. I didn't even, last time I was here, I didn't try to go see her. She tried anything and everything to try and come see me. Had her cousin come to my dad's house to try and talk to me. Try to have someone else to do something else to try to get to me. And I never tried to. So the fact that she wants to sit here and say now that I'm going to go back, no. I didn't try to go back last time. I never even tried to attempt it, nothing. She got mad at me because I didn't want to call her. I didn't want to explain anything because I was told by the judge in front of me the last time here that I was not allowed to go back. I never even tried to go back the last time. I stayed away until they told me I was able to come home.
Okay. And then I'm sure that you followed the rules as they were back then. Right now, then these are new rules.
Right.
At this moment, I'm going to make it a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500.
Okay.
And again, as I stated, you cannot live with her, so you cannot go in. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime, which means that you cannot go back to that household. Okay, if you do so, that is violating, that is a new crime. Do you understand that? So this is what the new rules are.
Okay.
Right? So, and no weapons. I've added that on my conditions as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your court is this is the Buckeye City Court, okay? Be sure to show up for court.
Okay.
All right, and I wish you well.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Okay, and then, so if you go to the left, and you can get the next person, which is Michael Sakia, and I need Stacy Jacobs to go to the chair. Wait a minute, did I do, that was Christian, yes. So, Michael, yes. And Stacy there, okay. So, thank you. Could you please state your name?
Michael David Sakia,
And your date of birth?
4/18/1969.
Thank you. And you have an arrest warrant. And so you are being charged with 1 count of organized retail theft as a Class 4 felony. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a status conference set on March 28th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on April 1st at 8:30 a.m. And I'm setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500.
No OR?
No.
Ma'am, I don't even know where this warrant came from.
Okay. This is actually an incident that happened on April 7th. Oh, sorry, that's when we were actually at court. So let me see. This is an incident that happened on July 4th of 2024.
They told me in the jail it was January 5th, 2024.
Here, I'll look at the warrant right now. Okay? It is an incident that happened. It was July 4th of 2024.
They told me in the jail that it went over there in Glendale that it was January 5th, 2024.
Okay.
my name has been ran by police and the court, and I hadn't had a warrant.
Okay, I am looking at this warrant right now in front of me.
That's when it was issued?
It happened, yes, well, no. I am telling you, it was signed on January the 28th of 2025 by Commissioner Monica Gribbs. Part of the stamp is on it.
And when was it issued? I mean, it was good. Since then, it was. If the officer would have came across me, I would have got arrested.
Okay, I'm only explaining to you that the offense date is July 4th of 2024. It is count 1 of organized retail theft.
I didn't do no organized retail theft.
Okay, I am appointing counsel, and they will be able to help you with this case.
Why can't I get a warrant?
I am not ORing you.
Why?
Okay? Because I said so. Because actually, I am affirming the bond that is in the warrant. And that warrant is stating that they believe
somebody
that
could have used my ID or something.
Okay.
That's not me.
Why
are you getting mad? I'm just trying. What if you were like me in here?
Unfortunately, you're right. I should not have matched your energy. You're right. I shouldn't have. But I'm explaining to you right now that I am not going to OR you. Okay?
Why? I mean, I didn't even do this crime. I don't even know what's going on.
Everybody here is considered not guilty.
You're fraud. All you guys.
Okay, could I please have Stacy Jacobs come to the podium? Hello. Could you please state your name?
Stacy Yvette Jacobs.
And your date of birth, please.
01/17/1970.
And you have a warrant out of West McDowell Justice Court for 1 count of driving with a license suspended, revoked, or canceled. And this actually came from March 31st of 2019. And if you remain in custody, you would be appointed counsel at the next hearing. It is an arraignment set on March 26th of 2025. And I can tell you, this is crazy because actually the warrant, which for this misdemeanor was actually $25,000. So crazy. So I'm obviously not going to keep it at a $25,000 warrant. Okay. But I do need to. I'm going to make. I think maybe it's a decimal point. So I'm going to make it the $2,500. So it is, however, secured appearance bond. So you can use a bonding company to be able to get out. But I think part of it's when you're so old that they need to get you. So they need to be able to have you. You have an arraignment set on March 26th, but it's a secured appearance bond for the amount of $2,500.
So 2,500?
Yes.
Okay, and that's the only way I can get out?
Yes. And Israel Herrera Arroya, please come to the podium. And Serenity Jack, please go to the chair. Hello.
Hello, miss.
Could you please state your full name?
My name is Israel Guadalupe Herrera Arroyo.
Yes, thank you. And your date of birth?
Date of birth being 01/31/1998.
All right, and you have a warrant out of Country Meadows Justice Court. You have one count of DUI as DUI, liquor, drugs, vapor combination, class 1 misdemeanor. One count of DUI being a .08 or more as a class 1 misdemeanor, and one count of an extreme DUI being a .15 to a .20 being a class 1 misdemeanor. So this is a warrant, so those are just the charges against you. I don't need to find probable cause. If you remain in custody, you'll be appointed counsel at your next hearing. You have an arraignment set on March 26th at 8:30 a.m., and they have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,045.
I could ask a question, right?
Yeah, you can ask me a question.
The bond, do I have to pay like fully, or is it?
You can use this is a secured appearance bond, so you can use a bonding company.
Oh, okay.
So generally it's about 10% that you actually have to pay as a fee, and then you have to have collateral for the rest of it. But different bonding companies may have different fees. I don't know.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
But good luck, and the judicial officers can help you.
Thank you.
Serenity Jack, please go to the podium. Dante Wade, please go to the chair. Hello. Could you please state your full name?
Serenity Jack.
And your middle name? Leche?
Yeah.
Okay, and your date of birth?
1302.
Okay. And you have a warrant for failing to appear, I believe, at your status conference. I can just double check that. Yes, you just basically didn't show up for your status conference on October 17th of 2024. And they issued a $500 bond. You are being charged with one count of possessing or using a narcotic drug as a class 4 felony, and one count of possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a class 6 felony. I am reaffirming the public defender's office to represent you. You have a status conference set on April the 4th at 8:30 a.m. And as I stated, the secured appearance bond is in the amount of $500. Okay, if you just go to the left, you'll get your paperwork.
When's my next court date?
April 4th at 8:30.
Okay, so I'm not being or I have to stay until the.
You can make bond, then you can get out and you can go to court on your own. Otherwise, you'll be transported. But it's on April 4th. And it's for $500 is the bond amount.
Okay.
Okay? You can go to your left. Dante Wade, please go to the podium. David Roten, please go to the chair. Hello, could you please state your full name?
Deontay Deshaun Wade, 21294.
All right, let me click on this. And then you said 2/12/1994? I thought you did, just wanted to make sure. And you have a warrant for violating your probation. I am appointing counsel to represent you. You have a probation revocation hearing set on March 31st at 8:30 a.m. And I'm just affirming the bond that is in the amount of $100.
Okay.
Okay, if you just go to the left, you'll get that paperwork. Mr. Roten, please come to the podium. Hello.
How you doing?
Now, sir, could you please state your full name
David Andrew Rounton,
and your date of birth?
2391.
And, okay, now you have two cases here. And on your first case, it states that you are being charged with one count of possessing or using a dangerous drug as a Class 4 felony, one count of failing to return rental property as a Class 5 felony, and one count of possessing or using drug paraphernalia as a Class 6 felony. I did not find any probable cause. I mean, there's like nothing. There's like no words for me to be able to analyze. Now, I'll tell you what that means in a moment. Okay, but I am going to be appointing counsel to represent you to be able to help you with this case. You have a status conference set on April the 7th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on April the 10th at 8:30 a.m. Because even though I found no probable cause, I can't dismiss the charges, okay? But what I have to do is I have to release you, okay? Now, I don't know if because you have the orange suit on, it means that you're in on something.
My pants are too big, and I didn't want nothing to fall out, you know?
Okay, well, that's good. All right. So basically, though, I can't do any release conditions whatsoever because I found no probable cause. But you also are being held on your other case. So that's good. It is the same name and date of birth, but they page 2'd you because of the new charges. But because I am the one that is being able to determine the release conditions, it's not a warrant, I don't think that it's fair for me to put a bond amount. So I'm also ORing you in this case, and I'm actually putting notes that there was no PC on the new charge, and then I'm actually putting down the PF number on this, so that they're like, what is she talking about? So, so let me tell you, this new case then, it's a warrant for violating your probation. I am appointing the counsel to represent you. You have a probation revocation arraignment with a possible disposition hearing set on March 31st at 8:30 a.m., and I am releasing you on your own recognizance in this case.
Right.
Okay,
Thank
because
you.
I have to release you on your other one, and it doesn't seem to me to be fair. And as I'm a judge, I'm trying to be fair.
Right. I appreciate it.
Okay, you're getting released on that one. Okay, just make sure that you show up for court.
Yes.
Okay? All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too. And then, Marvin So, please come to the podium. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Now, sir, yours is a little different. That's why we keep yours to the last. Let me just get a sip of something to drink first. All right. All right. May I have your name and date of birth?
Marvin So, 12/22/2001.
All right. Now, a warrant for your arrest was issued by the state of New Mexico. That state wants you back on this warrant. Some paperwork to review. Before court, you were given a laminated card. Did you read that paperwork?
Yeah.
And as I stated, you have a warrant from the state of New Mexico. You now have a choice to make. You can choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing and be sent back to the requesting state within 30 days, or you can demand an extradition hearing and that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before you are sent back to the state of New Mexico. And let me make sure that it was in New Mexico, but I'm pretty positive that it was. Yes, it is in New Mexico.
So what's the second option? Like, cause I have a ongoing case still.
Okay, so you have an ongoing case here in Arizona?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted to wait until that's over. It's in April 3rd. It's for
okay.
DUI.
Well, what we can do is we can just have you not waive your rights, and you'll have a hearing set, and your next hearing would be on March 31st at 1:30 p.m. Okay, and then I'll set a bond in the amount of $15,000. Otherwise, we would hold you without a bond. That would just be holding you without a bond. But then New Mexico would have until your 30 days would start as soon as your Arizona cases have been all completed. Do you understand?
A little bit.
Let me get back to my script. I think it's easier. Let me just make sure. Okay. So let me explain. If you choose to have your if you choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing, you would be held non-bondable in the Maricopa County Jail for a period of up to 30 days that would allow the time for the requesting state to come for you. And that 30 days would start tomorrow as long as you don't have any other charges pending against you anywhere in Arizona. If you do have criminal charges pending against you in Arizona, the 30-day period will not start until those charges are resolved. So as soon as the charges in Arizona are resolved, those 30 days start as soon as your Arizona charges finish. So that 30 days start, so once your Arizona charges finish, then the 30 days start and you'd be held non-bondable from that point on, and then New Mexico has 30 days from that point to come and pick you up. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
If you choose to have an extradition hearing, we'll set your hearing for the date and time in the downtown Superior Court. I cannot appoint an attorney to represent you because extradition matters are civil in nature, but you would have the right to hire a lawyer at your expense if you choose. You are entitled to bail in this case. Well, I couldn't really tell because it just says to hold you, but we can't hold. Arizona does not believe that we should be able to hold people if you haven't already been convicted yet. So I couldn't tell, so I would hold you in a cash-only appearance bond. And I believe I would do so in the amount of $15,000. So, but I would hold you with a bond. So if you were unable to post your bond, you would be held in custody during that time or until another judge modifies your bail. But a governor's warrant would have to be signed by both governors of both states, and it's required to extradite you to New Mexico. And that process could take up to 90 days. Okay, so if you want me to, at this moment, whenever it's like an iffy kind of thing, you're not really sure, then we just basically say you do not choose to waive your rights, and we just have that one hearing set, especially since you're still going through the process of your other charges.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just do that. I will put forth the bond.
Is there like any way to lower the bond or no?
At this moment, I'm going to just keep it at this amount, but it can be changed. It can be changed even at that other hearing, that next hearing.
So
okay?
I'm going to be in here still? Or?
I'm sorry, you're going to remain in custody, yes. But your next hearing will be set March 31st at 1:30 p.m.
So I'm staying here till March?
Definitely till March 31st.
Okay. So there's no way to get out today or?
No. Not unless you have, unless you make the $15,000 cash-only bond.
Yeah, I could make it today.
Okay, then you can get out and you can make the bond.
All right.
But you then are still required to actually go to the fugitive justice hearing. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Here, I'm going to still, well, since I think you're going to get out, let me still put down the fact that you're not to initiate contact with the arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription. You're not to drive a motor vehicle without a valid license. And you must continue to provide the court with proof of your local address. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you do know if you do not show up that they can forfeit your bond and keep the entire $15,000.
Okay. So I'm still getting that 15 back?
If you keep showing up for court.
Oh, okay.
It can be exonerated, yeah.
All right.
All right. So, I've signed it. Did you get the new signatures? Okay. All right, go to your left, you'll get that paperwork. I'm going to we have one house call. David, why was he not brought over?
He is a danger to himself here.
Okay. Number 10 on the docket is not brought into court because he is a danger to others and to himself. David Wayne Beasley, date of birth 12/03/1964. He is being charged with one count of kidnapping, apprehension of injury as a Class 2 felony, one count of burglary in the 3rd degree as a Class 4 felony, 3 counts of aggravated assault to first responders as a Class 5 felony, 1 count of resisting arrest using physical force as a class 6 felony, and 1 count of criminal trespassing as a misdemeanor. I did find that there was probable cause for those charges. I am appointing counsel to represent him. He has a status conference set on March 28th at 8:30 a.m. and a preliminary hearing set on April 1st at 8:30 a.m. And I am setting a security clearance bond in the amount of $20,000. If there are any changes, if there are any changes to be made to this, I will come back and put them on the record. Okay. I am just going to quickly take a picture of this.
All right, everyone stand up, please. Stand up, ma'am. Remain standing until the judge tells you to sit down.
Thank you. Please be seated. This is the 11 p.m. calendar on March 23rd, 2025. Orders are given on the first of the month regarding the taking of DNA and fingerprints. Those orders remain in effect today. What that means for you in the courtroom is this: not every single one of you have your DNA or your fingerprints. If you have to do that, those orders are going to be on your paperwork. My name is Commissioner Beck. I'm here to do a few things for you today. Number one, I'm here to let you know why you're here. Number two, if you might be released. Number three, if you're going to be signed an attorney. The vast majority of you are going to get an attorney, which leads to my number one rule. Please don't talk about the facts of your case. Anything you say or do can be used against you. Everything in the courtroom is video recorded, so please don't talk about the facts of your case unless it's with your attorney. Second, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of questions. Unfortunately, I'm not your legal counsel, so I can't answer legal questions for you. So please save your legal questions for your attorney. Finally, you're going to be hearing lots of different dates, and some of you are going to be hearing about some different types of release conditions. You don't have to memorize all that stuff. All that information is going to be on your paperwork. That's why it's important to keep and save your paperwork and don't lose it. If you end up missing a court date or not following a court order, you could just end up back here. Here's how tonight's going to work. I'm going to call two names. First name I call is going to come in the courtroom and stand in front of me at the podium. Second name I call is going to sit on the chair next to the door. And then we're going to keep on cycling through until the calendar is finished. Could I please get Henry Monzon to the podium? Tricia Cardenas to the chair, please.
We're going That podium and speak into the microphone with the red light.
Thank you.
Good evening, Your Honor.
Sir, name and date of birth, please.
Henry Luis Monzon. My date of birth is 4/12, April 98.
Thank you. 88 or 98?
98.
Thank you. You are here today on a Superior Court new case. You've been arrested for aggravated domestic violence, a Class 5 felony, and assault, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause. I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court dates are March 28th and April 1st in the Downtown Superior Court. I'm setting a secured appearance bond of $50,000. You can use a bond company. If you're able to bond out, you'll be placed on pretrial services release. You'll be fitted with an electronic ankle monitor. You're not to return to the scene of the crime. No contact with the victim or witness. Not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. You must obey any current and future orders of protection. And also, you may not reside with the alleged victim, even if you're the owner or renter of the property. You're allowed one civil standby with local law enforcement to return to collect any essential belongings. And you're cautioned that a violation of a no victim contact order can lead to a Class 6 felony. Go ahead, please step to your left for your paperwork, sir.
Thank you.
Trisha Cardenas to the podium. Kevin Dominguez to the chair, please.
Up here now, the gray podium. The microphone is where the red dot is, where the red light. Over here, sir.
Hi, name and date of birth, please.
1/22/1978.
Name, please.
Trisha Lynn Cardenas.
Thank you. You're here on a failure to appear warrant. I'm not assigning you new counsel. You're going to go back to your original counsel. Your next court dates are March 28th and April 1st in the Downtown Superior Court. I'm affirming the bond set by your judge. It's a $1,800 secured appearance bond. If you're able to bond out, you're not to return to the scene of the crime, no contact with any victim or witness, not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and you may not enter any Target stores or their premises.
If I can't make bail, when do I?
So the next time you'll see a judge is March 28th, and then you can talk to that judge again if they're willing to change your bond. All right, thank you, ma'am. Please step to your left for your paperwork. Kevin Dominguez to the podium. Matthew Crone to the chair, please. Hi, name and date of birth, please.
Kevin Dominguez, January 21st, 1994.
Thank you. You're here today on 4 separate probation violation warrants, so I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court date is going to be March 31st in the Downtown Superior Court. I'm affirming the bonds set by your probation violation judge. First one is $250. Second one's $250. Third one is $500. Fourth one is $500. Total $1,500 secured appearance bond. Sir, if you're able to bond out, you're not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Most importantly, if you bond out, you have to contact your PO within 3 days.
Okay.
Thank you. Please step to your left for your paperwork. Matthew Crone to the podium. Alan Young to the chair, please. Name and date of birth, please.
Matthew Crone, September 4th, 1991.
Thank you. You're here today on 2 failure to appear warrants, so I'm not assigning you new counsel. You're going to go back to your original counsel. Your next court date is going to be March 31st in the Downtown Superior Court. I'm affirming the bond set by your original judge. It's $1,500 secured for both of your cases. If you're able to bond out, you're not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Most importantly, if you bond out, you have to contact your PO within 3 days. Why don't you please step to your left for your paperwork, sir. Alan Young to the podium. Camille Ortiz to the chair, please. Hi, name and date of birth, please.
Alan Wayne Young, 9/12/66.
Thank you. You're here today on a probation violation warrant. I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court date's March 31st in the Downtown Superior Court. I'm affirming the bond set by your probation violation judge. It's a $1,000 secured appearance bond. If you're able to bond out, you're not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Most importantly, if you bond out, you have to contact your PO within 3 days. Why don't you please step to your left for your paperwork, sir. Camille Ortiz to the podium. Jesse Silversmith to the chair, please. Hi, name and date of birth, please.
Camille Ortiz, May 26, 1990.
Thank you. You're here today on 2 probation violation warrants. I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court date is going to be March 31st in the Downtown Superior Court. I'm affirming the bond set by a probation violation judge. $750 secured for both of them. If you're able to bond out, you're not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Most importantly, if you bond out, you have to contact your PO within 24 hours because you're on IPS.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Please step to your left for your paperwork. Jesse Silversmith to the podium. Gregory Ramirez to the chair, please. Hi, name and date of birth, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jesse Silversmith, 22481.
Thank you. You're here today on 3 probation violation warrants. I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court date's March 31st in the Downtown Superior Court. I'm affirming the bond set by a probation violation judge. It is $300 secured for all 3 of your cases. If you're able to bond out, you're not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Most importantly, if you bond out, you have to contact your PO within 3 days.
Okay.
Thank you. Please step to your left for your paperwork. Gregory Ramirez to the podium. Tommy DeWitt to the chair, please. Hi, name and date of birth, please.
01/15/98.
Name, please.
Gregory Dwayne Ramirez.
Thank you. You're here today on a justice court warrant. I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court date's March 26th. That's at the Ironwood Justice Court. I'm affirming the bond set by the judge out there. It's a $145 secured appearance bond. If you're able to bond out, you're just not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Thank you. Please step to your left for your paperwork, sir. Tommy DeWitt to the podium. Courtney Purdom to the chair, please. Hi, name and date of birth, please.
Tommy DeWitt, July 8th, 2002.
Thank you. You're here today on a probation violation warrant. I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court date is March 31st in the Downtown Superior Court. I'm affirming the bond set by a probation violation judge. It's a $100 secured appearance bond. If you're able to bond out, you're not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Most importantly, if you bond out, you have to contact your PO within 3 days, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Please
you.
step to your left for your paperwork. Could I please get Courtney to the podium? Hi, could I get your name and date of birth, please?
Courtney Purdom, excuse me, February 19th, 1988.
Thank you. You are here today on a Superior Court new case. You've been arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, destruction of physical evidence, a Class 6 felony, and possession of prescription drugs without a prescription. It's a Class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause on the drug paraphernalia and the destruction of evidence. I haven't found probable cause on the prescription drug case. So I'm just considering those 2 Class 6 felonies.
Sure.
I am assigning you an attorney. Your next court dates are going to be April 7th and April 10th in the Downtown Superior Court. Upon your promise to appear, I'm going to be releasing you today, but there's some conditions to your release. You're going to be placed on supervised release with pretrial services, and you're not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Do you understand these conditions?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you promise to follow these conditions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you promise to appear on April 7th and April 10th in the Downtown Superior Court?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand that if you fail to appear, a warrant will issue for your arrest?
Yes.
Okay. Upon defendant's promise to appear, I'll be releasing you to the supervision of pretrial services. Ma'am, it's your responsibility to call them during normal business hours once you're out of here. If you fail to call them, you could end up back here. Do you understand that?
Okay, yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Please step to your left for your paperwork.
Okay.
For the final 3 matters, I'll be visiting these individuals back at their cell. They pose a risk of harm to themselves or to others. Pamela Orner, date of birth 8/18/1973, here on a failure to appear warrant. I'm not assigning new counsel. She's going to go back to her original counsel. Next court dates March 28th and April 1st in the Downtown Superior Court. Setting secured appearance bond of $15,000. If she's able to bond out, pretrial services release with an electronic ankle monitor. Not to return to the scene of the crime. No contact with any victim or witness. not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol, must follow any orders of protection, may not reside with the alleged victim. Alvin Campbell, date of birth 5/19/1960, here on a Superior Court new case, arrested for aggravated assault, a Class 4 felony, aggravated assault, a Class 5 felony, resisting arrest, a Class 6 felony, criminal trespass, a Class 3 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause. I'm assigning counsel. Next court dates are March 28th and April 1st in the Downtown Superior Court. Setting secured appearance bond at $10,000. If he's able to bond out, he'll be placed on pretrial services release, not to return to the scene of the crime, no contact with any victim or witness, not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Hector Guzman, date of birth 7/8/1983, here on a failure to appear warrant. I'm not assigning new counsel, going to go back to his original counsel. Next court dates are March 28th and April 1st in the Downtown Superior Court. Affirming the bond set by the judge, $250 secured appearance bond. If he's able to bond out, pretrial services release, and not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. After visiting these individuals back to their cells, if I'm to make any changes to these release conditions, I'll come back on the record to make those changes. This concludes the 11 p.m. calendar.